Hello again and welcome to another edition of Southern Country. Hi, I'm Herb Southern. Welcome to the show, my friends. We're here in Staten Island, New York, and we're here at Historic Richmondtown. Meg is standing next to me, and she's going to tell us all about Historic Richmondtown.
That's right. Historic Richmondtown is a museum complex. It's called the Living History Village because you'll see people dressed in costume like I am, and you'll learn a little bit about early life, not just on Staten Island, but in the region, in the Northeast.
And this life was pretty much Staten Island or New York City or basically, you know, like you said, the Northeast, but this is, you pattern it after basically the whole Northeast, I presume.
Exactly. You can look at something the way someone lives in one of the buildings we go to, and you could say, well, that's going to be how somebody lived in New Jersey lived, or lived in Massachusetts lived. So,
how long has Historic Richmondtown been here?
Historic Richmondtown has been operational in some way or another since the 1930s when they first started to acquire buildings.
Now, how old is the oldest building here?
The oldest building here would probably be the Four Lasers House from about 1695.
Wow, that goes way back.
Way back.
That's original to the site.
It is original to the site, yes.
Good. Well, Meg, as we tour through Historic Richmondtown, we're in a general store. Tell us more about this general store.
Well, this is actually a very impressive general store. It is one of the buildings that was originally here, established about 1837, but the lifetime of this building spanned into the 20th century. The artifacts in this building go from the 1840s all the way up to the 1900s, about 1915.
Are these artifacts original to this building, or are they just...
No, they're not original to the building. They are, however, some are original to the island, and most are original to the region.
Okay.
We have anything, a store like this, you can get anything from hardware to medicines. We even have an early vacuum cleaner from about 1915.
Wow, they had them then, huh?
Yes, they did. They didn't work that well, but they did have them.
Did they clean?
We're not really sure. They were hand pumped, so it was probably a lot more effort than
there you go.
the results paid off.
All right. We're in the general store, my friends. We're going to take a look around. We're in the formal parlor, or the front parlor here. Tell me more about this room and about this house.
Well, we are in the Guyon Lake-Tyson house. It's probably one of the most beautiful homes we have here in Richmondtown. The house was originally built in 1740 by Mr. Guyon.
Right.
And the room that we're sitting in now was an addition added by the Lake family, about 1820. Now, in this room, you would be received by Mrs. Lake or Mr. Lake. You might be served some tea. It's a very formal room. It was a room meant to give off an impression of wealth and prosperity. Almost the reaction they wanted from you was, look at all the beautiful things I have. Look at my beautiful desk over there. Look at the beautiful things I have that you may not. So it was it's very nice. And
behind us is every room has a fireplace.
Almost every room has a fireplace.
So that's all the heat system.
That's all that's going to heat you. You want to be kept warm. So if you're going to be in this room, you have your fire lit, the door shut, and the other fireplaces will not be lit unless you're using the room.
Are these fireplaces still functional today?
Many of them are still functional.
Good. All right. Thanks, Meg.
You're very welcome.
What kind of room do you call this? This is kind of an all-about room with beds and wheels and...
This is actually set up to appear as a servant's quarters, about 1820. And part of being a servant meant that you would have to assist the owners of the home in making their clothing.
Okay.
So in this room we have a lot of artifacts that would aid in that, such as the spinning wheel. We have one right behind you, which we call a great wheel.
Right.
You actually have to stand and and work that one. And these things can get pretty cranky. If it's humid, the string that's set up is going to pop right off, and you're going to have a little bit of a problem.
And that's the wool?
Yeah, this is the wool right here. It's the wool right here.
Cool.
Yeah. And this is one of the final stages of actually making it into thread. You're not even making it into clothing, just thread.
What else is there?
What else do we have? We have another wheel, a smaller wheel, that's over here to my right, and that's a wheel that you could use you use your, it's pedals, so you use your foot. It's not in the best shape at the moment, but it was a little bit easier to work. It was a little less technical than the great wheel.
Okay.
Right here, we have something for drying your wool. Wool comes in one color. Sheep tend to be a very bland white color.
Yeah, I haven't seen blue ones yet.
As you can see by my clothing, not everyone wore bland white clothing, so you did have to dye your wool, and this is how you would dry it.
Right. And of course, to help out a smaller fireplace.
To help out, you have a little stove there that's going to
Heat
throw off
room.
a nice amount of heat.
Cool.
Nice amount.
All right. This is an interesting room. I never was in the servants' quarters before, so to speak. Am I correct in saying servants' quarters?
You are correct in saying servants'
Okay.
quarters.
I think we're standing in the long branch of historic Richmondtown on Staten Island. And correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are right, but it didn't start out that way. This building actually started out as another store, which is what it originally was. But we had one, so we said, well, what don't we have? We said, oh, we don't have a tavern. And there were plenty of taverns here in Richmondtown, so we converted it to a tavern. We're standing in front of the bar at the moment.
This is it.
This is it. This is where the magic happened.
No, nothing on tap today, huh?
No, nothing on tap today, unfortunately. And you
Okay.
might notice the actual bars on the bar.
Yeah, that's...
And if things happen to get a little rowdy and the barkeep felt a little threatened, he could close himself off and be quite protected in there.
That comes down, too.
That does come down.
Man, he can really... So they throw the tomatoes and everything.
Exactly.
Stand back.
If they see something might be a little watered down, he needs to be able to protect himself.
All right, got the fire going in the middle here. It's really...
Our stove keep us warm.
It's really nice. It's really quaint. How old is this building?
This is another building from about 1820.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks.
You welcome.
Time to get an education. We're here at the schoolhouse in Richmondtown.
That's right. Actually, the oldest standing elementary school in the country.
Country, that's
Richmondtown,
big
in the
time.
country. It's built in 1695.
Wow.
Yeah, and you are actually sitting probably in a seat that not many students wanted to find themselves in.
Uh-oh.
Possibly for students who misbehaved or weren't quite up on their lessons.
Uh-oh.
I'm actually sitting in what we like to call the authoritative chair, the teacher's chair.
Excuse me.
Yes, but I actually would not be sitting in this chair because the teacher was a male. This school was only open until about 1701.
Oh, okay. And what did they use the building for after that?
It was a private residence.
Private residence.
Private
Okay.
residence.
Pretty interesting. And you brought it back to life as a school.
We did.
Good.
We restored it to
Interesting.
its original splendor.
Well, Meg, we're wrapping up this show. Thank you very much for being on Sedson Country, and thank you for taking us a tour through historic Richmondtown. Tell us your website.
I just want to thank you for coming. And our website is www.historicrichmondtown.org.
And when is Historic Richmondtown open to the public?
We are open year-round, Wednesday through Sunday, usually about 1 to 5. In the summers, we're open from 10 to 5.
Any special events go on other than the bluegrass festivals? Do they have cookouts or anything like
Well,
that?
we have some traditional dinners coming up. You
Sure.
might want to check our website for the dates. And, of course, our Bluegrass Festival coming up
Cool.
in October.
Cool. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.